Their presence is like a miracle. Today, the Komodo dragon is the world's largest known reptile in existence. They are endemic to Indonesia and cannot be found anywhere else in the world. There are around 2,000 Komodo dragons distributed in some of the Indonesian islands. Most of them live in human-managed wildlife reserves. A small portion of dragons live in a natural environment. Their development can cause a lot of trouble and even become a danger. Therefore, Indonesian farmers have to make efforts in order to deter. Komodo dragons can easily take down large animals from water buffalo to deer and even humans. Komodo dragons are capable of laying more than 30 eggs per clutch, and even more notably, they are capable of parthenogenesis. That means they can reproduce without hunting. This is a special feature and is the reason they are able to quickly invade the habitats of other animals. The Komodo dragon's large body and long tail makes it look like a prehistoric monster lost in the modern world. Its tongue continuously sticks out like a poisonous snake stalking its prey. Perhaps one of the Komodo dragon's most distinguishing features is its tongue, which is forked like a snake's. This allows them to detect odor particles in the air and locate prey from a distance. Even if you are lucky enough to escape the Komodo dragon's initial attack, you still may not survive. The Komodo dragon's venom does not cause the prey to die instantly, but rather it causes them to become paralyzed and die 3 to 4 days later. Usually the Komodo dragons hunt in groups when attacking larger prey. Venom is not the Komodo dragon's only weapon. Its mouth is filled with harmful bacteria. When it bites, these bacteria immediately enter the wound, leading to a severe infection, causing the prey to quickly die. Populations of Komodo dragons quietly lurk, also known to attack their own kind. When food becomes scarce, competition for resources is inevitable. Within each group of Komodo dragons, there is a clear hierarchy, and these confrontations are how they establish and ensure stability in their community. Hunting organizations determine the bite force and analyze the danger level of the dragons. At the same time, they provide safe hunting methods for hunters. The use of rifles is determined to be the most effective means of hunting. Hunters usually organize into groups of 4 to 6 people. The group size ensures full coverage of the terrain and maximizes safety. This is because Komodo dragons are known for their aggressive attacks. They can also move gently via a safe shooting location. After defeating it, the hunter conducts a thorough examination to ensure the dragon poses no further threat. On average, a successful hunt will yield 1 or 2 dragons. Hunters must report detailed information, including the number, size, and exact location of the hunt. These successful hunts have brought significant benefits to the local community. The risk of dragons attacking humans and livestock has been significantly reduced, improving the security of the local villages. In addition to legal hunting, dragon populations also face illegal hunting. This can lead to an uncontrolled decline of the number of Komodo dragons. They also face Is controlling invasive animals in the US possible? When faced with millions of large animals threatening crops and livestock, hunters and farmers are forced to hunt in order to maintain agricultural security. This is a tense battle for survival. The peaceful scene suddenly becomes extremely bustling and tense. The buffaloes jump out of the water, preparing to escape. Crocodiles are stealthy hunters. They hide for hours underwater without creating a ripple and attack their prey quickly. When attacked by a crocodile, the prey has almost no chance of escaping. This is because crocodiles have one of the strongest bite forces in the animal world, 5 times stronger than that of a lion. The aggressive predator must control it. This is because if they retreat into the water, the spoils of war will certainly be lost. For the shot to be effective, the hunter must aim for the brain or a shot to the spine just behind the head. Alligators are best hunted from cover and shot in a prone position. The tougher skin and extremely hard bones that cover its brain require a large caliber rifle. They use only quality controlled expanding soft-tip bullets. Large caliber rifles should be avoided, as the recoil from such a weapon when fired in a prone position can be terrible. Therefore, determining the correct shot position will tie the hippo's body in the area where the crocodiles often go. Crocodiles by nature are bloodthirsty apex predators, and using the enemy's corpse, they can be lured to a more favorable shooting position. The hunter chooses a suitable approach point and waits until the crocodile arrives. Prey can distract the crocodile, making hunting more convenient. Hunters will have enough time to observe and shoot at the key points to take down the crocodile. In ideal conditions, hunters must observe the terrain and choose a suitable hiding spot. Using a hunting rifle from a distance of at least 30 to 50, especially in the agricultural areas where they are abundant in food sources. Wild boars are highly adaptable, thriving wherever there is water and tree cover. Therefore, they are considered a harmful invasive species, pushing native species out of their habitat and destroying agricultural farms. Every year, in the United States, wild boars spread, causing around $2.5 billion in damage. One of the biggest challenges in hunting is accuracy. You must be a good shooter. The hunters often hide behind trees and run very fast to catch up. The hunter must grasp the direction of the wild boar's movement in order to adjust the gun appropriately. Wildfire device. This is especially needed at night, as then it's nearly impossible to see anything in the dark. Hunters need powerful equipment to be able to clearly see the wild boars from a distance. Hunters have the opportunity to shoot accurately and safely. Additionally, a flashlight with a red filter is a great aid. Based on the vehicle's speed, farmers always keep wild boars within sight. Every shot must be very fast and accurate. Before deciding to hunt, farmers can use fly cams to observe the overall situation of the farm or track down the location of the wild boar. After locating their prey, they enter the hunting area. This way helps the hunt to go more smoothly. At the same time, it increases their chance of. In addition to feral pigs, coyotes are also a constant threat to agricultural areas in the United States. Winter will be when most coyotes run out of food, and livestock farms are the ideal destination. For Louisiana farmers, coyotes are troublesome bullies who can cause a lot of damage. This also poses a big challenge to the livelihoods of American farmers. Louisiana authorities have legalized hunting for invasive animals. So if coyotes are found stalking on the farm regularly, some farmers choose to control them using guns. Hunting activities will take place around areas frequented by coyotes, such as grasslands, forest edges, or near farms. As summer approaches, are deceptively small targets under all that fur. Farmers must ensure they have their principles straight when hunting. They don't rush to shoot when the coyote is moving, but don't hesitate to pull the trigger when they stop. Hold your line of sight and pull that trigger. Appropriate camouflage clothing and equipment will help the hunter blend into the surroundings. increasing the chance of remaining undetected. The increase in coyote populations has also created a series of problems related to agricultural practices. At the same time, it also threatens social security and complicates the management of government and federal agencies. When you're with animals, respect them or face the consequences. One wrong move can turn a peaceful encounter into a life or death situation. On October 14th, 2014, a group of hunters in Africa learned that the hard way. They were quietly recording a few male lions. Things can get dangerous fast. This heart-pounding moment, filmed on August 25th, 2012, in Zambia's Munyamanza Game Ranch, shows a massive elephant charging a group of people, using a truck as their only shield. One man shouts, hoping to drive it away, but the elephant isn't backing down. Luckily, tensions didn't spiral out of control, and no harm came to the elephant or the people. Just another day in the wild where size and instincts rule the land. Out in the wild, respect is key, especially when dealing with a beast like this. Filmed on January 3rd, 2012 in Canada, this clip shows two hunters standing face to face with a massive Ontario moose. Its towering antlers and 800-pound frame making it clear only to find a bobcat caught instead. Trying to do the right thing, he worked to release it, but the wildcat had other plans. It scratched him. Finally, the trap was opened and the bobcat just lay there, seemingly unaware it was free. So the farmer tossed a branch to wake it up. Laughing at the absurdity of the situation, he climbed inside, only to realize his back door was wide open. That's when the laughter stopped. Luckily, the bobcat figured out it was finally free and took off.
Oh my God! Get out! Get out! Get out! It's the beast! Get out! Lindsay! Watch out! Oh, shoot that! Get out!
Farm life isn't always peaceful. Just ask this worker in India who found himself is never assume an animal will just keep walking. This intense moment, filmed on October 3rd, 2020, shows a group of hunters quietly watching as a small herd of Cape buffalo moves past. At first, one of the massive animals gives them a quick glance, but keeps moving. All seems fine until it suddenly stops again. This time, it locks eyes with him and charges. With the ability to reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, a Cape buffalo can close the distance in seconds. Unfortunately, the video cuts off before we see what happens next. Did the hunters make it out unscathed? We may never know. If there's one thing you don't want to do, it's to get too close to a goose with its gooselings. This animal is so territorial that some even use it to guard their land. The last thing you want while hunting is to become the prey. But on October 11th, 2022, that's exactly what happened to an elk hunter in Idaho. As he moved through the wilderness, he realized something chilling. A mountain lion was stalking him, You can hear the fear in his voice as he tries to scare it off. But the big cat takes a few shots before finally disappearing into the wild.
I'm going away. I'm going away. I'm not gonna bug you. I promise. I'm going away. I'm going away.
Sitting quietly in a tree, bear attacked. But this climber in Japan fought back. While descending the rocky ridge of Mount Futago in 2020, he was suddenly ambushed from behind by a bear. Instead of panicking, he switched to survival mode and started throwing hammer fists, front kicks, and non-stop screams in order to intimidate the animal. When looking back at the footage, he said the bear was likely just protecting its cub, but in that moment it was man versus beast, and he easily could have become another Todd Orr, an elk hunter from Montana who was seriously injured from 2 grizzly bear attacks. Wild hogs are already dangerous, but a wounded one, that's a... Most people don't think of sheep as dangerous, but like any animal, they have their limits. In this clip, a man and his friend are seen leashing a sheep, stressing it out in the process. At first the animal tries to resist, but when the pressure doesn't stop, it decides to fight back, hard.
Ach, scheiße, fällt hier noch hin und wird von den Schafen überrannt. Scheiße.
Cows may look calm, but push them too far and they'll push back, literally. In this clip, a man decides to bully a cow for not following his commands. But the animal isn't having it. With zero hesitation, the cow charges loose, weighing up to 1,200 pounds, devastate forests and pastures by consuming over 70 pounds of vegetation daily, while grizzly bears devour nearly 90 pounds of food in just one evening. Bearing in mind, they still attack people. These figures not only highlight the power of wildlife, but also the enormous strain these species impose on American agriculture and rural communities. From the plains of Montana to the dense forests of Alaska, farmers and hunters have devised innovative methods to manage these populations. Yet, hunting carries more than economic significance. It is a tale of survival expansion into the 19th century, prompting farmers to declare them a nuisance. In just 1 year, these predators caused over 314,000 livestock losses, equivalent to the number of cattle in nearly 404 average-sized ranches in America. The economic losses attributed to coyotes exceed $50 million annually, a figure that's substantial enough to purchase more than 2,500 heavy-duty trucks, a critical resource for rural communities.
Freak.
You almost gets one.
Oh my gosh, Luna! Oh, Luna!
For example, this 20-month-old Great Pyrenees guard dog was severely injured when he confronted 11 coyote populations in western states like Montana and Wyoming have declined by nearly 15% annually, significantly reducing livestock losses. Coyote hunting requires a blend of skill and technology. One of the most common methods involves long-range rifles, particularly in open plains where coyotes are more visible. Mechanical traps are also employed in areas with clear signs of coyote activity. Professional hunts for clothing or crafts. A single pelt can fetch between $23 and $54, depending on quality. The remaining carcass is typically disposed of carefully to prevent the spread of disease in the environment. Despite the widespread hunting of coyotes, their meat is rarely consumed in the US. This aversion stems primarily from the coyote's status as a scavenger, which leads to concerns about potential diseases and parasites in their meat. Additionally, the strong, gamey taste of coyote meat makes it less appealing to the average palate. While a small number of hunters might experiment with cooking coyote meat out of curiosity, it remains a rarity on American dinner tables. Although its economic value consumes over 79 pounds of vegetation, equivalent to the food intake of 13 sheep. In Alaska alone, more than 252,000 acres of forest are destroyed annually by moose grazing, a landmass large enough to cover the entire city of Chicago. Hunting moose has proven to be a highly effective method for controlling their population and migrating environmental damage.
You're gonna feed a lot of families. Oh my God.
Compared to a decade ago, modern hunting practices have with GPS devices to plan effective hunts.
Absolute beast.
The Maine Moose Hunt Festival is a well-known cultural event, drawing thousands of hunters and tourists each year. This festival showcases skills like moose calling, meat preparation, and even displays of crafted moose antler products. Moose meat, in stark contrast to coyote, is highly prized among hunters and rural communities in the US. Million in 2023, a sum sufficient to build 10 modern-day agriculture storage facilities. By the early 20th century, habitat destruction and hunting nearly eradicated grizzlies from most of their historical range. Today, their expanding range into human-populated areas has created conflict, particularly with farmers. Compared to 23 years ago, livestock attacks have decreased by nearly 31%. Thanks to carefully regulated hunting programs, making such encounters a test of both skill and bravery. The Grizzly Challenge in Montana is a unique hunting event that attracts top hunters to showcase their skills. Participants demonstrate gun handling and strategies for safely confronting wildlife. This is not just a competition, but also an opportunity to honor tradition. Grizzly pelts, meticulously processed, are turned into premium products and the risk of trichinosis, a parasitic disease that can be contracted from improperly cooked bear meat. In certain mountainous regions, however, grizzly meat is considered a delicacy and is carefully prepared into stews or slow-cooked dishes to soften its rough texture. For most Americans, though, bear meat remains an uncommon choice. Consumed primarily with respect for nature, hunters across the country have made a lasting impact. From mitigating agricultural losses to preserving cultural traditions, their efforts highlight the critical role of hunting in America's intricate relationship with its wilderness.
Yeah.